to the College World Series in Omaha. Mike Bianco joins us right now on the Farm Bureau phone line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Coach, we appreciate your time as always. It's been fun, not just this year, but for several years to get to talk to you each Monday. And now we get to talk to you on the verge of heading to Omaha for the College World Series. Congratulations.
Thanks, Richard. I appreciate it. And pleasure to be with you as always.
This is one of those fluffy media questions, so you'll just forgive this right out of the gate, I hope. First thing you thought about when you woke up this morning? Like your head alarm goes off, or maybe it doesn't, and you wake up and you open your eyes. First thing that popped into your head?
First thing is got to get to the office. We got to, logistically, I think what people don't realize is, yesterday was a great day, but the next 24 hours, trying to figure out when you're taking off, and all the other logistics, the hotel and rooms, and that everybody's taken care of. It's one of those things that nobody talks about, but man, it's a tough 24 hours, and we're still in it. Not even exactly sure. I think we got the plane. We're not exactly sure what time we're taking off, but it looks like we're taking off Wednesday morning. So that was the first thing.
With the College World Series schedule changing this year, does strategy change at all? With it's starting a day earlier, and they take the off day out, so it's a little bit more compact schedule. People talked in the past about, if you've got two starting pitchers and you stay undefeated, you can kind of get through with that. Is it different this year?
I haven't looked that far into it, to be totally honest with you. I think everybody's probably feeling before is it can get a little stretched out, which the reason they do that obviously is not just TV time, but you want to make sure that you give everybody the best advantage to put, their best team on the field, because that can, as you can see in regionals, a lot of times where people just run out of pitching and they just, that's why you see so many big scores in games 6 and 7. So they just didn't want that to happen, when you're playing for the national championship in Omaha. But I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Certainly, nothing more compressed than we've done already.
I don't know if you've had time to reflect, but when you get to that point, what are you going to think back on from this past weekend? Is there a moment or a couple of moments that you think are going to stand out for you in what occurred in Hattiesburg over a couple of days?
I think just in general, how well we played. And certainly how well we pitched. Obviously didn't give up a run in 18 innings. But then also on the other side of the ball, I thought offensively we did a great job against one of the best pitching staffs in the country, and two guys that, are All-American candidates on the mound for them. And I thought we had a great plan. I thought Mike Clement really had the hitters prepared, and we just made it hard on him. Even yesterday against Hall, who's so good, who's really, you're facing their ace in game 2, we made it hard. He doesn't walk people, but we ran the counts up, and we were able to, not a lot of hard hits, but some hits that found some holes.
Mike, people probably don't know exactly how this works, but in the post-game press conference setting, there's kind of a moderator, and instead of just asking you to make an opening statement or Scott Berry, he kind of asks an initial question. And I was struck by the fact that he did that with Scott Berry, and Scott said, well, first, let me congratulate Ole Miss, and he talked about the relationship and what he had said to you. And then he did the same thing to you, and you're like, well, first, let me congratulate Southern Miss. I'm not sure that always happens. Can you tell us a little bit more about your relationship with Scott?
Well, when I first got to Mississippi, Scott was at Meridian Community College and soon became the assistant under Corky Palmer at Southern Miss and eventually became the head coach there. And so, he was one of the first coaches I met here and recruited a couple of his players. One of the kids he already had committed that never played for him, Matt Tolbert. He turned out to be pretty good, and Josh Christian. But always respected him. But as, he was an assistant and Corky did such a great job there. in the early 2000s, and then when Scott became the coach, we've been through this, together. Mississippi, as we've talked so much, how great baseball's here, and there is a great rivalry, between us, and especially in baseball, where we're both really, really good baseball programs. But he does such a great job, not just as a coach, as a recruiter, and with his program, but he does it the right way, and he's had a ton of great assistants under him. We've never had issues. It's one of those where I know it's rivalry and you want to win so bad, and sometimes the fans can take it to a certain level, but there's nothing but mutual respect, I think, on both sides. He's a class act.
I don't know that anybody has ever accused you of having a lot of bling. Like you're not the guy that's got diamonds dripping off of you and all that good stuff. And yet there's this picture that's floating around of a gold chain with a big 5 hanging in the middle of your chest. Well, what's the story there?
All right, here's the story. So, no, I'm not a big bling guy. We win the regional down in Miami. Justin Bench's grandparents are from the Tampa Bay area. They must have had a giveaway. One of their players is number 5, and I guess he wears that chain. And it was like a bobblehead giveaway. They were giving away these medallions of number 5, and his parents went to the Tampa Bay Rays game and got one of those, and I'm number 5, and they wanted to give it to me. And so Justin was kind of embarrassed. He said, my grandparents want you to have this. Hey, if you want, you can throw it away afterwards. And I put it on. I mean, we're regional champs, and we're moving on to super regional. I put it on, and he took a picture for his grandparents. I thought it was going to his grandparents. I didn't know it was going all over the country.
Did you pull it out again after the super regional win?
No, I didn't.
See, I think that should be like the good luck charm. Like that's going under your jersey on game day from here on out.
Well, I didn't wear it through the super regional. See, that's where my wife is like you, all into the superstition. And she's like, I think you should wear it to Omaha. And I said, well, I didn't wear it to the super regional. Like, why are you guys like starting these types of things? Like, no, it's not. All we need Elko to hit, and we need Elliott and DeLucia to pitch. We don't need me with the number 5 hanging from my chest.
You have said, as clear as can be, you're not a big Twitter guy, but this is your moment to potentially go viral.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I can live without that.
You'll pass on that. Let me ask you about a couple of, we'll call them little moments, but I thought moments that maybe were lasting images. Tim Elko catching the final out to get you to Omaha. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool. I said it in the press conference afterwards, and it's one of the neat things about our game, right? You can't control where the ball's going. Sometimes you hope that they don't hit it to a certain position, and that's where they hit it, right? And I told the story about how Garrett Woods has his first start of his career, and it's in a regional final at Miami, and the very first ball that's hit is hit to him. And the ball, as we always say, the ball will find you. But how ironic, that the final out to get to Omaha is to, one of the all-time greats who came back his senior year to get to Omaha. So, pretty fitting.
TJ McCants hits the home run after coming in as a defensive replacement yesterday. It's the first time he had swung the bat since the Coral Gables regional. That was a pretty cool moment, I would think, for him, who's at time had a tough year at the plate this season.
Yeah, and tough time. He's had battled some injuries and some personal things, and love the kid. And he was able to play yesterday, but Garrett was playing so well, we just didn't want to push the envelope with TJ, and knew that at the end we would make the defensive replacement, where I think we're a better defensive club with Bench at third and TJ in center. Wasn't sure that TJ would get in at bat. But neat moment for him, and one that makes you, we felt pretty comfortable at 4-0, but you can always take another run.
I'm curious, and I was wondering as the game was unfolding yesterday, you go to Josh Mallets, he gets the final 2 outs in the 8th. You had Brandon Johnson ready in the bullpen. Did you consider going to Brandon Johnson for that 9th inning? And if not,
yeah.
why did Mallets feel like the right choice?
Well, 100%. At 4, we were going to bring him in at 4, and it's kind of touchy. I think it's a coin flip. I don't like bringing the closer in sometimes when it's not like a safe situation. I think sometimes that plays against them where they don't have the adrenaline. They're not their normal selves with a giant lead. I thought 4, that it was the right move to bring him in. Then when we got to 5. Again, I don't know if there's a bad decision either way, but Mallets has been so good for us. We're going to give him the opportunity to finish with BJ right behind him, and felt that if they got a guy on or 2, certainly we were going to BJ, but it had nothing to do with necessarily matchups or anything like that. It had to do more with, do you really want to bring your closer in with a 5-run lead, with a guy that's on the mound that's been really good.
Was every pitch that you called for Mallets, and we've only got like 20 seconds left in the 8th inning, a slider?
No, we called one fastball, the first pitch to Dickerson.
Okay. But it was a heavy dose of breaking balls. It was certainly impressive stuff. Coach, thanks so much for your time. Good luck at Omaha.